Hi again, cue number 5 for today. This one's for Graeme Clark. So the story behind this one is it was actually ordered originally by somebody else, one of the local lads on the Tyne and Wear county teams, a lad called Mickey. He ordered it as normal, went through the waiting process, obviously the backlog of queues I've got. And about halfway through, I get a message off him saying, "Carl, you know what, I don't think I'll take the queue anymore. I'm going on like a world trip or something." So I think he went around the world for a little bit, and he says, "There's not much point having a pool queue. I can't carry it with me or everywhere. So I think I'll give my spot up." So he did, and it got sold on to someone else, and that someone else was Graeme, which was nice to see because I think I've done at least one, maybe 2 queues for you before, Graeme. I can't quite remember. I think it was a couple of years back. So it was nice to see Graeme take up another spot in the order book. So that's that. So then Graeme got in contact with me. He says, "I've bought the deposit, the waiting slot off Mickey. Can I come and see you and chew some woods?" I said, "Yes, absolutely. Lovely to see you again. Pop up when you can." He comes in and we get all the timbers out and start having a look through everything. And I think he had a little bit of an idea in his head of what he wanted, but not the timbers that he wanted. He wanted something that was a bit you don't see everywhere. So he was looking for something that wasn't so much like over the top in your face, but just something a little bit unique, a bit of a curiosity of a timber. So I showed him what I had, and he went through a few pieces and we came up with this one. Now this is the first time I believe I've used this variety of this timber, so I wasn't sure I was going to work, and to be honest it was a bit of a chew to work with. Maybe I think I've got like 20 sticks of it. Maybe I just got hit unlucky on this one. I hope I am, otherwise the next 19 queues aren't going to be much fun. It does look lovely even unoiled, so once we get into it I think it's going to really, really, really shine. So that being said, let's have a look. So Graeme, in place of Mickey, has taken up a one-piece Envy model ash into an Indonesian rosewood, coming down into some maple veneers, some red veneers. This is because he's a Sunderland fan, so a little bit of a juxtaposition from the earlier Andy Newcastle fan. And then down into 4 splices of Amboina burr. Now I love this stuff. This is gorgeous. It's really, really hard to get your hands on good quality Amboina burr anymore. This is from my old stock, which is great. I got this before. I think it started to go on the CITES restricted list. So you've got to be careful getting Amboina burr in now, because it is on the watch list of things that are starting to disappear. In fact, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you this Indonesian rosewood just before. I think it was an Indonesian rosewood of sorts, just before we get into it. So it's a dark timber, but it's got some lovely patterns running through it. So Graeme says, "Can I get something that is subtly different, but really has that sort of luxurious quality to it?" So I said, "Yeah, let's have a go at this and see how it comes out." So we'll give this a go. Right, Amboina burr, absolutely beautiful when it's oiled. Big dramatic change. Goes this gorgeous golden colour. And what we'll like up here. Lovely stuff. Yeah, you've still got all that beautiful shell pattern coming through the rosewood. I mean, there's various types of rosewood out there. I've never used this particular one before, but yeah, it's coming out quite nice. And there we go. Get lots of oil into it, and then we'll have a little fly over. This is a lovely piece down here. Really, really like this Amboina burr. There we go. Lovely stuff. All right. Gorgeous Amboina burr. Some red and white veneers coming up into this sort of quilted rosewood. What do I think of that? Really smart. Wasn't the easiest to work with, but I think we got there in the end. And a nicely balanced visual cue. What do I think of that one? Lovely, lovely Amboina burr. I love all the sort of like pippiness. It's I say it is getting harder and harder to get. There's a few sources out there which you've got to be careful with. You've got to get it from a reputable dealer, otherwise you can get into a little bit of bother with it. So there you go. Is it worth it? Yeah, it's worth getting it. It does cost a fortune nowadays. It's one of those woods that's, because it's it's the simple supply and demand, because it's become so scarce. The price of it has gone up and up and up through the years. and it is very, very pricey now. But what do I think of that? Lovely stuff. Really smart. So there we go. Queue number 5 for today. 5 down, 2 to go. What do I think? Really nice. Lovely stuff. So, there we go. Thanks very much, Graeme. A couple of weeks should be ready for you. Thanks for being patient, even though you kind of sort of jumped the queue a little bit with being able to buy the Mickey space in the queue. Not long ago. Thanks very much. Watch out for queue number 6. Cheers, guys.